guys, what's up? This is Bobo Jones, and today I'm going to talk about the first time I dropped my bike, tragic as it was. So if you watched my last video, you probably know that I bought this bike, this Triumph Tiger 800, not knowing how to ride a motorcycle. So I bought this bike without knowing how to ride it on Craigslist, but I got a good deal. It's a fucking awesome bike. And so what ended up happening is I had a disastrous experience on my first ride. And so I brought it to my office where I work, and on the roof of the parking lot, and my buddy came with me on a weekend and essentially taught me how to ride the bike up there. So I should probably stop and check out this ridiculous sunset. So we go to the roof, and of course, you know, we're up on the roof, and I'm learning to like disengage the clutch, but I don't know how to ride the bike at all, right? This is why we're on the roof of a parking lot, because I can't even practice on the street. And so we're up there, and I'm like rolling around, and I'm getting used to like releasing the clutch and giving it gas. And of course the building security comes up, and so I'm turning my head completely, you know, to look at her, and I brake without pulling in the clutch, and the bike just fucking drops, which sucks. And it drops, and of course I know nothing, and I try to catch the bike with like my leg. So this bike weighs, I think, like 460 or 480 wet. And so of course I try to catch the bike, you know, with my leg, and you know, I of course strain my leg, and which sucks. And so I'm there on the floor, and the security just passes by, and my buddy doesn't run over. He's very good. He's like, he told me later, he was like, no, I didn't want to scare you, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but I was definitely like on the floor, you know, with my bike, and it sucked. And so I didn't get much damage to it, luckily, because my strained quad, my strained leg, ended up actually highly dampening the fall. So I ended up scratching the sides of my mirror there a little bit, and my tail light. But other than that, nothing on the actual body of the bike got scratched. So I was very lucky. I mean, I wasn't moving. I stalled while the wheel was wheel was turned, and it just, you know, fell over essentially. That was horrible, and made me feel worse about the bike, and I fucked up my leg, which healed in like a month or so. But yeah, it was terrible, but I got back on, and you know, we did some other stuff, and it's great. I mean, I gotta tell you, I don't know if you guys have access to a parking lot, or like your work's parking lot, but it is such a good place to practice because, you know, you're not going that slow. There's no cars around if it's on the weekend and it's a work parking lot. And you can basically just, you know, learn how to ride around, learn how to shift, learn how to release the clutch. I think I always go the wrong way here. I think I'm supposed to turn left here, yes. And yeah, and then the best part is, so from my last thing, you also probably heard about how I you know, kept stalling on the hill, is that when you have one of those leveled parking lots, you can learn how to go up, you know, when you're going from one level to the other one. This turn's pretty fun. And it's great. So he taught me how to go up the hill there, so I learned how to accelerate up a hill, you know, with the back brake, which I'll do a video to cover too, because it's just a really important skill to learn if you're riding, because if you don't know how to do that, like, you could feel comfortable on straightaways and not even think about a hill, and then once you get to a hill, man, and you don't know how to go up it, and you're not comfortable like with the back brake and whatever, I mean, you're just fucked. I was totally fucked. So yeah, I'll cover that in another video. It's just a good skill to have starting up a hill. else? Yeah, so that's it. We kept practicing after I dropped my bike. I didn't hurt it. And he was great, man. And then we went back to my place, and I was all fucking stiff, of course, because probably the first year you ride your motorcycle, first of all, is the time where you're most likely going to get fucked up and crash, because obviously you're spending most of your attention on like switching gears and braking and downshifting and all that bullshit. And so you're not paying attention on the road as a result, and that's why you get fucked up. Yeah, so just learn all those basics before you go out, man, because that shit sucks. Dropping your bike sucks. And I was lucky enough to like get in these situations where I almost fucked up a bunch of times, and I didn't fully fuck up enough to drop my bike except for that one time. And I was like, oh, learn that lesson. Don't try to turn your bike, walk your bike around on a steep hill. I've almost dropped my bike 3 times doing that so far. Yeah, that's it. All right, I think that's all for this one. Don't drop your bike. Don't fucking pull in the clutch, and don't brake without pulling in the clutch, because you will stall and fall. Unless you mean to stall, then that's okay, or you're prepared for it. But if you're not prepared for it, then it's fucked up. Have a really shitty day. Alright guys, that's it for today. Bobo Jones saying arrivederci.